Good evening, my friend. Welcome to the show. I am Lou Mongello. It's Wednesday night, my favorite night of the week. If you are watching live, thank you so very much for being here. Do me a favor, sit back, relax, grab a snack, tag and invite a friend in the comments wherever your comments may be. If you're watching on the replay, don't forget to join us every Wednesday right here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Lots to talk about tonight. Some stuff that's coming to the parks, some stuff that's coming out of the parks. We'll talk about this week's show. And the one thing I forgot to mention too is it was an exciting and frustrating week for a lot of people. And if you are like me, you probably know what I am talking about. Thank you and welcome to everybody who is already inside the box. If this is your first time here, welcome. You are a member of the family. You are a member of the box people because you live inside this little box on my computer, on my desk. It's amazing and awesome all at the same time. If you're watching on the replay, again, don't forget, every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It's so good to see so many familiar names and faces. I could probably read them better if I actually had my glasses on. Jim Orhosky, always, like, one of the first in the box. Ken is deciding if he should go to Walt Disney World this August or not. Can't handle the Florida heat. Ken, a hot day in Florida is better than a hot day anywhere else. Where are you from, New Hampshire? It's going to be hot up there, too, but at least you'll be in Disney World. The crowds may be heavy. The temperature might be warm. The lines might be long, but who cares? Is there anywhere else? Is there anywhere else you'd rather be? There's nobody there, but I know the answer is no. There's nowhere else that you would rather be. One day I'll be a top fan. To be clear, I have no say or input or control over the top fan things. I don't like that at all. It is a Facebook-ism. Zucks, I think that you're all equal, so there's no top and nobody is a fan. You know you're a friend, and that's not a line. It's true. So you should have I'm an equal friend banner, because that's exactly what I want you to be. Cody Pierce, Michael, Chris Cogswell is a first timer. Where are you from, Chris? And how long have you been listening or watching? Bill Daniels going to do the special DVC. Oh, this is all wrong. The special DVC Moonlight Magic at Epcot. Let's try and fix this here. Wait a second. Let's try and fix that and see if that works. That's not much better, but it's okay. We'll take it. Andrew, good to see you. Felicia, yeah, I can go through everybody. So it's so good to see so many people here in the box. Christine Kronowski is heading home Friday. She is beyond excited. I assume that by home you mean the world. Where are you staying? And more importantly, where are you eating when you get here? Cody, you beat me to the punch, because when I said it was an exciting and somewhat frustrating week for a lot of people, I was, of course, talking about the Avengers endgame tickets. They went quick, had to wait in a queue, which is wild. Grabbed 3 for your local theater. Let me know what your endgame ticket buying experience was like. And if you don't have your tickets yet, it's too late, because literally they're all gone. They went live Tuesday morning around 8 a.m. Eastern. And it literally crashed the interwebs. The AMC site was down. The Fandango site was down. It was literally a matter of getting lucky or getting creative. I was driving my son to school that morning. I kicked him out of the car and pulled over to the side of the road. And I was very, very fortunate to get some on opening night before the site crashed, and then had to go to the actual theater's website in order to get my second round of tickets. And I know a lot of people were having issues. What was your ticket buying experience like if you are going to see Avengers Endgame? And my son was just telling me it broke like every single, like the pre-sales for Endgame beat like the overall sales for Titanic or something crazy like that. Like, they sold a lot of tickets in a very, very short amount of time. Which is crazy and awesome all at the same time. The countdown is on, and I cannot wait. A friend told me that 8 o'clock was the time I was waiting. I actually had started the night before. I had checked at midnight on Monday night just to see what was going on, because I'd seen earlier in the day that they had it there, but it said the tickets weren't available yet. So I just sort of checked a couple of times. So William got seats. What I was noticing, too, was that you would log on to Fandango, and you'd be put into a virtual queue. And I saw screenshots of people that had wait times of over an hour just to get in the queue. And then it's like that weird moment, like, do I refresh and hope it was something goofy, or do I just sit here and not lose my place? Other people had multiple computers, multiple browsers. It's like trying to, I don't even know what else it's like trying to do, because I haven't had that experience elsewhere. But maybe it's like that's what happens like when a new Funko Pop or something is released, or some sort of new product. I have no idea. It was craziness, but I cannot wait. Sam Murray says, it was the most stressful morning at work ever, and work has nothing to do with it. Our theater didn't put them on sale, so it looked like it was sold out to 11, and all of a sudden it was mass hysteria. Becky had no issues. Got IMAX 3D Friday night, yesterday afternoon, bought on Fandango yesterday afternoon. Becky lives in the Arctic Circle, by the way. That's why there was so much availability for tickets, because I know around here it was craziness, and still, like, pretty much all of Thursday. I mean, unless you want to sit as a random solo dude in the front row all the way off to the corner, it's really tough to find tickets anywhere in the Orlando area, or at least its immediate area, for seats those opening nights. A lot of people, Fandango was crashing for. Love that everybody was so excited of it. Fandango. My son is having an Avengers party tonight at his house. I want to know what that Avengers party entails. Is it like a watch party for the original? Like, maybe I should do that. Maybe one day. Lewis, wait. Maybe like on a Saturday we watch Avengers, Infinity War. There's a lot of movies you need to watch ahead of time. We should really have like a weekend marathon at my house. Everybody come in their pajamas, and we'll just watch them all. Heather can't wait for Endgame. It's like watching the end of Infinity War over and over again. It's so sad. Becky says it's like calling a radio station in 1979 for a free concert tickets, refresh 1 billion times. The door is so open, and I'm not going to walk through it. I'm going to be the bigger person, because, of course, we love ourselves some MEI and Mouse fan travel. So, some AMC theaters are doing the marathon leading up to and including Endgame. You have to spend like 4 days at the theater. It's a really, really long time. I think I'll just do it at home in the comfort of my couch and pajamas and Uber Eats and DoorDash and what's the other one? DoorDash, Uber Eats, and I don't know. There's some other food delivery service. Getting a cabin on the open when they open up on the cruises. Becky is still on dial-up. The fact that Becky was calling radio stations in 1979, do the math. Grubhub, thank you. Marla Chan, hello from Epcot. You know who has 2 thumbs and loves Marla Chan? This guy. Oh, yes, it's Ladies' Night. We were feeling, how much fun did we have on Ladies' Night on Monday? Luckiest guy in all of the Walt Disney parks and resorts. It was me and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 of some of my favorite ladies enjoying all the joys that were Tokyo dining, and the fact that they didn't finish their meals, which it was like a funnel going right to me. It was wonderful. And then Rick Springfield, Without the Rain. It was a good night. It was a good night. So thank you for including me in Ladies' Nights. We need T-shirts next year. Marla, where are you in Epcot? And more importantly, what have you eaten today? Becky says, I'm also a bad... So, Becky, how can you get IMAX 3D and still haven't seen Captain Marvel? There's been discussion in the Box People group about some people asking, do I need to see Captain Marvel before Infinity War? I say absolutely. I say you absolutely must. And you need to embrace the character because of the importance she is going to have in this world going forward. So... Aaron says, I assume Becky was 3 in 1979. I didn't know what she was doing. You forgot a 2 in front of that or so. Is Lou glitching or is it Disney Wi-Fi? So, Donald, I am home. If there's any glitching, it is probably the fault of my service provider. I don't even think my son is playing Fortnite or whatever high-intensity game. Corey says, yes, she is going to be a big player. Marla Chen, this girl's lottie-dottie. She likes to party. Rose and Crown and Illuminations designing at 8 o'clock and earlier at Garden Grill. That's a good night. That is a good night. So Paul Donlin knows how to get my attention. He says Boathouse rocks. I don't disagree. Captain Marvel reached $1 billion. Higher, further, faster. That is both awesome and crazy. And I think very much, as somewhat divided the reviews were about Captain Marvel, it shows the importance of the film, and I think more so the character. I think, like I said, was it last week or the week before, in terms of akin to Black Panther, the importance of the film itself, not just in the Marvel universe, but I think culturally, and what the film means to a lot of different people. So, Michael, got to run. Have good seeing you. Marla is with Don. I see. It's the Disney Wi-Fi on your end. I thought it was the Disney Wi-Fi on my end. Jessica, it is nice to see you. Colin Kendall, all looks good. Good. Because, a lot of tech stuff going on here, and sometimes you don't know where the fault sometimes lies. But so there's a couple of things I wanted to chat with you guys about tonight. I guess first thing first, we will head right over to what I got to see earlier today. For the first time today, there was I can't call it a media preview because the attraction opened on Saturday. Today's Wednesday. Saturday. Yeah, so attraction opened on Saturday, but we did get sort of a media invitation to go and check out the new Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy over on 95. I'm going to call it 95 Sunset Strip, even though that's not the name or the address. It doesn't matter. It's at the old Sunset Showcase, which, if you recall, was the location of it was sort of an empty space that was used for special events and for parties and sometimes hosted events as well. What it has become now is obviously the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy. And before I even let's talk a little bit about it. So outside, there are a number of meet and greet. This is the worst picture. I don't know why I chose this one. There's a number of meet and greet opportunities with some of the different cars, characters, and DJ is out there. And it also becomes a dance party as well for kids. There's a lot of games you can play. The characters talk, and there's a DJ outside. It's a lot of fun. So, Becky, did they knock the wall down? There are no walls inside, and I'll actually show you what it's going to look like on the inside. When you walk in, you are greeted with the giant 95 marquee, and I'm just going to try and show you. This is sort of a 180 view of what the venue looks like. There are now, as you can see, bench seats. There is that enclosed stage directly ahead, and there's about 270 degrees of screens around you where videos are shown, and then obviously that opens up, and then Lightning McQueen is in there. I wasn't able to take photos because I was doing live videos, so if you go to the Box People page or the WDW Radio page, the Box People group or the WDW page, you'll be able to see it there. And then back outside, there are some so very cute and soft and cuddly merchandise. I don't mean I am not the soft and cuddly merchandise, but I want to talk about the attraction itself and how it sort of fits into Disney's Hollywood Studios. And then would love to hear if you have done it before. You can call in, or I'll read your. No, Becky, nobody held my phone. Don't be crazy. I let the PhotoPass guy hold it because that's the only person there I trusted. You can either call in or I'll look if you have seen it before. Courtney Peterman, you're right. The boathouse is amazing. But let's stick with Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. Look, with the studios undergoing this transition and transformation and all the buzz being about Galaxy's Edge, you might wonder why open an attraction like this, and especially open it now. And I think this serves a number of purposes and a number of different masters. One, you probably can fit, and I'm ballparking, maybe you can fit 400 or so people in there, maybe even more, maybe even 500 people in there. So to a certain degree, it's a people eater attraction. It's indoors, it's enclosed, it's air conditioned, which is nice. There is the courtyard meet and greets and entertainment. It literally is on the opposite side of the park. So from a Star Wars perspective, it potentially might, a lot of those crowds that are not going to be able to get in need a place to go. I also think it serves another purpose in that clearly, I think one of the demos that is served by this is one that originally was one that Disney years ago, I think, meant to specifically address with things like Cars, which is that 9 to 15-year-old boy that was underserved in a Magic Kingdom that was full of princesses. And not to say that Cars are only for boys. I'm not saying that as well, but it is very much about cars. It sort of is like a driving simulation, like a video game simulator. So I was looking around, and the inner video gamer in the old kids as well as the young kids, I think, really hit the spot. I think what this does too is specifically for kids. One of the things about Hollywood Studios, if you think about all of the attractions there, or most of the attractions there, a lot of them have either height requirements or thrill/fear requirements. This is one that has no height restrictions. There are no mobility restrictions. Literally every single guest can enjoy and experience this attraction together. When you go down Sunset, again, other than Beauty and the Beast, you're limited to maybe as what kids can do. Star Tours has height requirements. Newspapers in your shoes, kids, it's what I do. Galaxy's Edge is going to have height requirements. Even Toy Story Land, this is one that everybody can participate in. So I liked that. Aspect of it. It also didn't overtake a space. It didn't close an attraction that was previously there, so it didn't take away something like, Playhouse Disney. And I think what I liked about it most was it's just simply a fun attraction. So from the meet and greet and the stuff outside, I was thinking like, wow, I wish my kids were still young enough to enjoy that. To spoiler alert, Mater makes a video appearance in, and Becky, I know you will get this. He does a repurposed re-rendition of music from Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, like twistin', twirlin', whippin', whirlin'. So I love that familiar song made its way over to this attraction in yet a very different way. It's completely, it's a very fun, light attraction, but I think the star of the show, literally and figuratively, is Lightning McQueen, because when those double doors open and that stage sort of that goes away, Lightning McQueen is there very much in the way that you have seen him if you've ridden Radiator Springs Racers. It is an animatronic, physical car where it moves and articulates, but the way they do the emoting with the mouth and the movements, you would never know that it's a very, very sophisticated type of projection. So, again, there was things that are happening with Lightning there as well as on the screens. There's some wonderful messaging, much like the Cars movies, about, friendship and perseverance and working together and all that kind of good stuff, which is not lost, but it's still a nice addition to it. Spoiler alert! I'm not going to spoil. I won't tell you how it ends, but you know how it ends. I almost wish, and I'm sure kids almost wish, that there was a way to be able to walk out of the attraction and have a place to go and put yourself in Lightning McQueen's shoes, wheels, whatever, and play that same type of simulator. There's obviously some other characters that are in the story as well that make an appearance. So I'm going back through your comments. just to see. So Becky, it is to a certain degree a slight people eater, but I think the purpose is not that. Beauty and the Beast, Indiana Jones, those are people eaters on an appropriate scale where you're talking of thousands of guests. Here it's still an intimate venue. It did not feel crowded. It did not feel overstuffed. There was actually a lot of room to walk around. There are no bad seats, but if you can get there early and get to the front, it's obviously a lot more awesome because you're closer to the Lightning McQueen animatronic. I fortunately was able to get front and center, so if you go back to watch my video, the live video from earlier today, you really get a nice view of not just Lightning McQueen, but the screens as well. Let me see. I wish you had made a better waiting area for the attraction, better to get up. So, Courtney, the idea of having the waiting area outside is it gives guests an opportunity to take photos with appropriate, sunlight and lighting, and kids run around and dance and play without having to build. Look, once you start building an additional show building and air conditioning, it's a lot more time, it's a lot more money, and the attraction certainly wouldn't have opened as early. Paul's been listening back to Mouse Tune days. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Samantha says, I watched the live stream with my son who's almost 2. He was mesmerized by it and upset when it ended. I love the fact that a 2-year-old was watching. Play it again, Sam. Play it again for him, because I think that's what this is definitely going to fit in. Is it's like a Playhouse Disney, but in terms of the interest level for kids. Of course, parents wouldn't have to sit on the floor anymore because there's actual benches. Lisa says, I'm happy to have a reason to take my kids to Hollywood Studios besides waiting for Slinky Dogs. William says, what if you're not a huge Cars fan? I don't think you need to be a huge Cars fan. I like the Cars movie. It's not something I pull up every week, but I enjoy the attraction. David says it's cool. It's a nice diversion. Worth doing once, possibly more than once. I agree. It's for some people, it might be a one and done. I think if you have kids, it will be something that you will repeat over and over again. Aaron says the Lightning McQueen animatronic looked amazing. It absolutely did too. Veronica's daughter watched as well. So Colin feels like it can theoretically become something that could grow and change over time. That's the beauty of this venue with those screens, and now the way they have redesigned that theater space. When they decide that it's no longer going to be Cars themed, it would be relatively easy. You remove that, you replace that one animatronic, you can easily change the screens and the theming, and it's not that much of a massive undertaking. Can I sing it so we can all understand? No, you do not. Trust me, you do not want to hear me sing. Courtney says they also think it's a great opportunity to take small children at Toy Story Land when it becomes too crowded. The animatronic is incredible. Good job for adding more for small children. Courtney, I think that sums it up perfectly. To your point, and Lisa, a few of the others, of wanting something else to do at the studios that you can take your kids to, that's not the Playhouse Disney live on stage. Not every kid maybe likes The Voyage of the Little Mermaid, who, again, I don't know how much longer is going to be there. Not everything inside of Toy Story Land is appropriate for every guest, whether it's a height, age, thrill ride, tolerance, whatever it might be. So Erica says, we love Cars Land and DCA. I'm sure my 4 boys will be super excited for it at Hollywood Studios. I am very curious to see what, like my kids are a little bit older, will they have an interest in going to see this? Chris says the animatronic projection mapping looked really good on it. Can't wait to see it live. Chris, that's the thing that really impressed me was, if you've been to California Adventure and Radiator Springs Racers, they do projection mapping on the front of the Lightning McQueen audio animatronic. But here, he's moving around, not just sort of left and right, but forward and backwards. So he's moving in a lot of different ways in sort of a two-dimensional format. And the projection mapping is spot on. And you almost have to look really, really close and really carefully to realize that it's not a physically articulating mouth on him. So I agree. I think it was very well done. And while we were there, as we were leaving, we saw a bunch of people from the Imagineering team watching. And I was I wanted to go over how we had more time and just to thank them and congratulate them because I thought it was really, really well done. It would be great if they had a post show somehow. Again, here, Colin, you're very much limited to space. Remember, Sunset Showplace was, I think it might have actually started out. I remember it being a place to shop for. Well, that was actually the temporary location for the shopping for Star Wars weekends. Then it became the permanent, then became sort of a special events venue. They did the Villains Party and some other parties and special events in there. Tracy Maselli is watching live from Magic Kingdom. That's awesome. What are you doing for dinner? And what's your favorite attraction there? Jessica said, saw the feed. Thank you very much for watching. Let's see. Will people lock him up? I don't lock him up at this attraction. I don't understand what that means. The theaters is Turtle Talk with Crush. More Turtle Talk with Crush. Yeah, it's definitely a much more intimate venue. I think we can all appreciate the fact that it's inside and air conditioned and actually very comfortable. And the show's about. You can watch the replay. I'm ballparking 10 to 12 minutes, so it's not like it's a very quick one. It's going to be running throughout the day, so it's not like something that you have to queue up a long time for or certainly get Fast Pass for it. Kathy Geiger agrees. It's a great addition for families with little kids or for people who are a Cars fan. So John says the video was amazing from this morning. Thank you so much. If you like it, share it. It's super, super, seriously. That's your call to action for tonight. If you like the live video from this morning, I don't have a link to share with you, but it's in the Box People and the WDW page. If you can share that out, super, super helpful. It is a small venue, and Colin, I like the fact that it's a small venue and not this because one of the things that's nice about it is not that everybody can see all the screens no matter where you sit, but the fact that no matter where you are in the space, you're not that far from the Lightning McQueen audio animatronic, which is not just something to watch before the stuff on video happens, but during as well, because of the way sort of Lightning interacts with it. Pay attention not just to what's happening on the screens, but the animatronic as well. Matthew, yes, we are talking about the Lightning McQueen attraction. Whoops. What? Not that Lightning McQueen attraction. That Lightning McQueen attractions in inside of Disney's Hollywood Studios. So again, there's a quick look inside at the venue. So yeah, I dig it. And again, the fact that it did not replace something else is really nice. So it's wonderful to see an addition come to the parks without having to lose something in its place, if that makes any sense. So do I think it's possible that they will reformat the animatronic to speak to the audience like Crush? I think it's possible. I don't think that's what this is supposed to be, because it is a much larger theater than Turtle Talk with Crush. I mean, there's got to be probably, again, I'm ballparking 25 to 30 rows, maybe, of benches. So it probably is harder for them to. I'm trying to think. Is it like Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor? Yes, it's like Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. Maybe even a little bit larger than that. So there might be a bit of a disconnect for those people sitting in the back. But he could, and you don't know. And because it's not something, that's sort of, I have to assume, relatively easily reprogrammable or upgradable, or changing a theme in the future, it might be something that they look into. I never even thought about that, which would be a really nice touch as well. So Michael can't wait to see it in May. Any Boston Mouse Meets in the future? Not necessarily. Yes or no. If I always, so here's what happens with meets that I do on the road is that if I have an event or if I'm speaking somewhere, I usually try and do a meetup. I didn't get to do one in San Diego because my schedule was just way too tight. However, nice segue, Lou. I may be able to do one, not this week, but next week. Not here, but finally in Chicago. Now, for those of you who are going to get mad at me from Chicago like Mangello, why didn't you tell us you were coming? What's the deal? I'm coming for a very particular reason and a place and a purpose. And now I'm stalling because I'm trying to find my graphic. There it is. I'm coming. The lights behind Lou look like Baby Bell cheeses. They're little Spider-Men. You can't see them. There was a gift from Becky Mankin from MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. That reminds me of something we need to talk about. Becky, we spoke for 2.5 hours the other day. Aren't you done? Haven't you had enough of all this? Because I'm sure you have. So next weekend from Thursday through Sunday, I want you to stay tuned for special live broadcasts. And if you are going to be at this event, let's meet up. I don't know where, I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't have my schedule yet, but I am going to be going to cover Star Wars Celebration in Chicago from April 12th through the 14th. So I believe I'm going to be flying in on Thursday, and I do believe that the event is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you're going to be there, or if you're in the area, please let me know. I will post this up on Facebook. This way you guys can RSVP to watch, or certainly if you're going to be there, let me know. I'm super excited. Again, I've said in the past that over time, my Star Wars fandom has started to wane a little bit because I have lost my emotional connection to the recent films. However, I love going to cons and mega cons and events like this, and it starts to sort of get my nerdy juices flowing. And I think more importantly, one of the things I'm going to be looking there for specifically is to share anything else I can find about Galaxy's Edge. I wonder, and I'm hoping, and there's a little part of me that really is almost confident that they will be sharing additional information or video or something for these fans at Star Wars Celebration about Galaxy's Edge. There's a little part of me that thinks we're going to get a little video of a ride through of one of the attractions. I think we're going to get less of just another promo video than we will get something, more of just a simple marketing. You've lost that Jedi feeling. Whoa, that Jedi. I still have my Star Wars shelf. It's just gotten a lot smaller and overtaken by the Spidey stuff. Jesse McCullough, you're in Disney Springs right now. I'm sorry I didn't get to see you on this trip unless you're coming to the meet on Saturday, which, by the way, is going to be over Star Wars Rival Run weekend. This Saturday, April 6th at 3 o'clock, we are going to be at the Polite Pig? No, the Polite Pig. I read, too. Going to be at the Polite Pig from 3 o'clock to around 4:30. Come by, say hello, grab some brisket, grab some chicken, grab some ribs, and share them all with me if you can, because OMG, it's so very good. Oh, I don't have my graphic, but oh, the fun we had and all the meats and sides that we had at the Polite Pig last week. Between Polite Pig and Planet Hollywood, I have not been eating very well this week. And there may have been a little boathouse trip in there too, but so good. So good. So, Samantha's dying for a cookie. 11 o'clock. You want to be there 11 o'clock when they first open, or 4 o'clock, because that's when you're going to be able to. So, Corey, I would love to hit Portillo's. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get out of the confines of the convention center. I don't know what my schedule is going to be. So, it might be a lot more convention food than it is Chicago food. But I'll see once I get a little bit. I'm seeing questions about the Ewok costume. The Ewok costume doesn't travel well. It's huge. It's a huge box. It's very heavy. It's very hairy. The costume, not me. I'm not sure. It's also not, how do I say this? This costume is not conducive to a lot of things. Walking around at a con is definitely one of them. It's very heavy, it's very hot, and it's not good for eating. So, Michelle says, I got my hug 3 weeks ago. First time meeting Lou, and he's just the best. Even nicer in person. What? See that, Becky? People do think I'm nice. Michelle, thank you so much for the handshake and the hug and all of the kind words. Your check is in the mail. So, Corrine, nice to see you. Jessica, Alice, Lou say Boathouse. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, how did I not pull this up? Jessica, I think it's you who made up the bingo cards. If you go to the Box People group, and Jessica, forgive me if it's not you or whoever. Jessica, I guess, made up bingo cards for the live shows, and I guess they say certain things a few times. It's not a drinking game. It's a bingo game, although, Becky, you can play it as a drinking game if you want. And every time I mention the Boathouse, you get to circle gets a square. So, Carrie Krieger, good to see you. He mentioned the Boathouse in response to people are getting bingo. I think I need to know some of the other ones. These don't count. I think Good Gandhi is on there. When I Talk to the Door is on there. Other mentions of food are probably on there as well. Jason Knapp, good to see you as well. So yeah, Matthew Woolley. If somebody has the link to that post, you can put it here in the chat. Shava Alvarado from El Paso, Texas, going to be hitting Disney July 1st through the 4th. A little toasty, a little crowded, but I have to imagine El Paso is as well. Although I understand you have amazing food in El Paso. One of these days, I'll have to get down there. So, Margie Linney, your birthday is on April 14th. I'll never ask you how old you are, but what and how. Okay, put it this way. If you could be in Disney World for your birthday, where and how would you celebrate it? And more importantly, where would you have your birthday dinner? Because that's really the point that I'm trying to get to. Paul, it's not a drinking game. It's a bingo game. I do not encourage drinking for anybody at any age. Certainly not you kids. This is iced tea that I've been literally milking all day long. So it can be an eating game. It can be a snacking game. It would be whatever. Matthew Woolley's birthday is tomorrow, going to Disney on the 18th. Happy birthday, brother. I hope you have a wonderful day. Martin Shergold from the UK. I cannot wait to see you, Martin. Speaking of Martin is going to be not just in the UK, but going to be with us in Japan this October. Becky Mankin, correct me if I'm wrong. We have one room left and the potential for one male to share a space and save some cash. So if you are a single and looking to share, we have one spot, and I believe we have only one other room left available. So, and Martin, I'm also coming to see you, and I'll have more information about another trip to the UK coming up this November. I'm coming out to speak. Going to hopefully have a little bit of time while I'm there after I'm done. Maybe get to meet up with some friends in the UK. Lou does not encourage you to drink unless it's Fireball. You drink whatever makes you happy and makes you comfortable, but please do not drink and drive, and do not drink to excess. So there you go. That is my PSA, public service announcement for the evening. So Tony Hank. Tony, Becky emailed Becky, messaged Tony messaged Becky, and she can give you details on the cost. Cezella, to register for Japan, if you go to wdwradio.com/Japan, you'll find the form there, or you could just reach out to Becky directly and cut out the middleman, which would be me, because I will do nothing but slow things down. So, it is going to be an amazing, amazing trip and 11 days in Japan. And the food we are going to have while we're there. And nobody does it better than Adventures by Disney. So we could do with some happy meetups. Brexit is killing us. I will bring some red, white, and blue happiness out to the UK when I come. Will I be shaving my beard for worldly cause? Louis, I shaved 20 minutes ago, so this is pretty fresh. This is a 1 day or so shadow. So Becky says, anybody who needs Japan info, message me on Facebook. I was actually talking to some friends this morning who have been to Japan a number of times, getting some advice, getting a little guidance, some tips as well. So I need to start brushing up on my phrases. Let's see. Email me back. Okay. You need to bring some U.S. snacks. I don't know if I can bring snacks over the international borders. And by bring snacks, I think I'll probably eat most of them on the plane because it's a long flight. And if you've ever traveled with me, if you've ever flown with me, you know that usually my backpack weighs about 15 pounds and 12 of those pounds are snacks. I've got my laptop. I've got, a couple of little things in there. And then the rest is snacks. Why, do you ask? Not just because I like to eat, because I'm preparing for the worst possible and not so worst possible scenarios. So I've been on a plane where you're stuck on the tarmac for a couple of hours, or if we cross the Bermuda Triangle, or it becomes Lost or Lord of the Flies, and the plane goes down and I happen to survive with my backpack, I have the conch shell. I'm king of the island because I've got all the snacks. So it's less for that sort of scenario and more for if you are stuck on the plane and there's not a lot to eat, or your flight is delayed or whatever, or you got a layover in the middle of the night. I like to be prepared, and I have a wide variety. I have a wide spectrum of snacks. So I don't know how I got to that, but no fruit. Fruit, that's silly. The only fruit I bring would be like in my bag of like fruits, nut, kind of like dried cranberries, dried blueberries, that kind of stuff. Becky says, yes, I've flown with him. It's quite an experience. Just saying. I want to read that differently. Yes, I've flown with him. It is quite an experience. So wonderful, as opposed to the way I think that you really meant it. So, Chrissy, it's far in advance. Hope we can make a meet of the month at the end of August. Yeah, August is going to be a tricky month. I'm quickly pulling up my calendar because in August we have we've got a couple of things going on. So I've got a conference in mid-August. We've got D23, and then we come back, and that little thing known as Galaxy's Edge opens. So I don't know how or when. If anything, it would probably be earlier in the month, but I can't. I can neither confirm nor deny exactly when or where that is going to be. I can tell you it probably is not going to be in Galaxy's Edge because I don't know where they're going to put all these people to begin with. David Potts, Juji fruits are absolutely, they're fruit-based, so it's a health food, and it's good. Juji fruits actually are a good snack, except when they get stuck, it's a mess. So, meet of the month, June 24th through the 29th. Here, I'll take another quick look just for giggles. June, so let's see, June, I've got my retreat. So yeah, June will definitely be later in the month. Oh, speaking of which, and do I not have a graphic loaded up for this? Wait a minute. I will load up. Wait for it. Hold on. This is what happens when you do this all by yourself. Oops. Let's do this. You may have seen or not seen earlier this week, I posted a link to my Momentum retreat. It is a weekend in truly a luxury vacation home not far from Walt Disney World, where it's limited to 10 people. We get together and work on you and your business. Go to the website to find out more. There's some people in the box who have been to the retreat in the past. It's a way to really move the needle on your idea or on your business or your blog or your social channels or whatever it is that you want to work on. It's a little bit of fun too. I take care of all the details. I get the house. I get all the food. And it was a wonderful, last year was the first year that I did it. And for the people around that table, it was great to see such a change take place, not after they left, but right there. It's from Friday to Sunday. And says right now that the code expires